friends, I hope you're doing well. I think it's time to do a little bit of a video. Hello, my name is Kay, and this is my Cave of Possibilities. I have knitting supplies to the left of me, cross-stitch to the supplies to the right of me, and here I am, stuck in the middle with you. It's been a very busy and very pleasant couple of weeks. I didn't even think to look at the calendar to find out when was the last time I came and talked to you. But I'm headed off to a retreat in Billings, Montana this week, so I thought I'd take the time today, give you a little bit of an update on everything I've been up to before I take off to the retreat, and mention that I'm going to a retreat. It was one that I found out about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks before it starts. So like 3 weeks ago, I found out about it and did the crazy thing and signed up for it and reserved the hotel room. And we're just going to drive 8.5 hours northward to Billings, Montana for it is the Northwest Stitchers Retreat. I believe they were formerly the Northwest Prim Stitchers Retreat. So I don't really stitch prim, but I was ready to go on a retreat. You know, I get a little stir crazy, little wanderlust, so I signed up for that. But we'll mention that here and there as we go along. So let's talk about my main cross-stitch squeeze, and that has been Lady of the Flag. Here is what she will look like eventually, one would hope, if I follow directions, but that's not always guaranteed. And I will insert a picture. I took a picture on my phone of where I was before I had to move the hoop, because as you can see, there's not much to see. So, picture of where I was. What I worked on before I moved the hoop was the bottom three stripes of the flag. The bottom two are complete. The next red one up has a little more red that I need to put in that was not available where my hoop was. And then I filled in the very middle center of some bits on her dress here and here that were still showing fabric, and any of the holes that you see there are where beads will go. There will be a lot of beads. And I extended the flagpole down almost as far as it will go. It has a little bit farther to go. So after I did all of that work, I worked on filling in all of this wonderful yellow. It is symbol number 7. It's not color number 7. I think it's 677. But worked on filling in all of that symbol this past week. When was that? Friday. I didn't work on it on Saturday, Sunday, and a little bit on Monday. So lots and lots of fill in there. It's just, you can't really see because I've got everything all squished together. So that is a lot of work on my Lady of the Flag. And she's coming along really quite nicely. I almost thought that I was, I'm so close to getting to the bottom of the dress. It's just right here. It's just right here. Ha-ha! After I moved the frame and then flipped my pattern over because I had it folded in half and looked at the dress and oh no, I've got a lot of work left to do, but she's a big old girl. I like her. So far we're doing well. Princess is here. You guys know Princess. Getting your ear scratched. Yep. So let's set her aside, get tidied up. I'll take a pause here to make sure Princess has enough lovin', so maybe she'll let us continue on in peace here in another minute or two. I'll be right back. Since I am heading up to a retreat, I figured maybe I should have something that's sort of prim, maybe a little bit, but I don't really stitch prim, as those of you who have been following along since the very beginning. So this is a me-made bag. So I figured, well, I do have a couple of Quakers, and that's about as close to prim as I get. So I put in a few stitches into the Valentine's Day Quaker by Primrose Cottage. Tuck that in there. Here we are. I initially just started it to, you know, have my start ready and going for when I was at the retreat, so I wouldn't have to think too much about what I was going to do when I did get to starting. I am stitching on a 32 count lugana dyed by the Red Thicket, and the color of the lugana is Thistle. It's a very, very lovely reddy purple, light, just wonderful. And once again, I'm using Dragon Fruit by the Gentle Art as my main color. And I just put a few stitches in there to get her started. I actually worked maybe a day, maybe 2 days on her to get her started. Sometimes you just need to stitch some purple when it's your favorite color, when you've been stitching on yellow for weeks and months on end. Lady of the Flag was my leap day sal, so the goal is to get her finished by February 29th. Oh, let's see, it's 2028, so if I put her aside, she'll never get done, so that's why she's a focus. But look, anyway, this one is really super cute. I am enjoying that one quite a bit. And then the other project, this is actually So Much to Love bag, giant pansies. If you know me and pansies, you know I just could not say no. So then I thought I would put in a couple of foundation stitches on this. This is an Al Forst embroidery pattern. It is Pansies. So I got this one started. Let me get things tucked away. Here we go. Right side up. So I put less stitching into Pansies than I did the Valentine's Day sal. And this is the, I got the Al Forst kit, so these are the Al Forst threads, they're variegated, and the linen in the kit. And the linen is really interesting. It's a lot more slubby than what I normally work with, and the fibers are a lot more thick and thin than what I'm used to working with. And so the interesting thing here is it makes it more challenging to see where the holes are, especially since there's a lot of variety on the linen. Usually the linens I end up stitching with don't have a huge variety in width of the fibers, but this one does. I even have borrowed my sister's light tab. It's not plugged in, so it won't, it's not plugged in, so I can't turn it on and show you how it does. And even then, since I'm facing the sun, turning it on probably won't help out any at all. She bought it for an LED tracing pad, so it's really quite durable, lightweight, and I think it'll be a wonderful thing take to meet with me to retreat, so I can put it down on my desk and see the holes through it. And the light goes super bright to dim, so we're gonna give that a try, see how it works. See how it works. What more can you say? So I'm hoping this one doesn't give me heartburn as I stitch on it, because I really don't mind stitching on dark fabrics. I've got a couple others, projects in progress on dark fabrics. I'm just a little worried because this fabric is more differenter than what I'm used to. Bet you didn't know that differenter was a word. It is now. So let's tuck that away. And I'm planning on stitching on Inspiration as my main project for the retreat up in Billings. Hang on, let's pause. I'll go get where I am on Inspiration so you can see the starting point. Alright, Inspiration is a design by Rosewood Manor, and it is not a new one. It's based on a quilt that the designer saw in American Patchwork and Quilting magazine, which is a magazine and an issue that my mom happened to have. I'm mostly stitching on this because my mom loves it and she really wanted it. So that's pretty much how it came to be. And here is where we are on it. I have stitched most of the first row of pages all the way across I've stitched, and then I'm almost done over here with the second row of pages. So I'm hoping to get that last little bit of the second row of pages done while on retreat. It's not a super duper, what am I thinking, little cat? Audacious, crazy goal. So that's what we're thinking right there. Are you helping out? Are you going to try to chase the fabrics? So that is my plan. This is one of my stitches, well, one of my planned stitches for the Billings retreat. Some time ago, one of my friends asked if I would knit him a hat. And this is the hat that he would like me to knit. So I've been working on it. I don't usually do hats, and I don't do a lot of color work. Thankfully, the color work in this pattern is easy to follow. The pattern, however, I think is written for a much more advanced knitter because some of the details and hand holding that you often find in like American patterns is missing. So it's taking me a lot longer to get through than I had ever thought it would, just because of the way the pattern is written. So, well, that's just beginning information, I guess. So on Saturday, this past Saturday, in between breaks of Lady of the Flag, I finally settled in and knit the outer hat and all the color work. I had previously done the ear flaps. I think I showed them to you before. And then this part of the ear flap folds up and will be knitted as part of the inner lining. So I'm pleased with what I managed to accomplish there. I have a provisional cast on here on the front edge. So it looks a little bit funny and it's rolling up a little bit funny. But once I pick up and start knitting the inner hat, this will all smooth out and look really nice. I still have just a few ends to weave in before I get too much further, so I knit in a couple of ends and then continue working on other stuff. Since I don't knit a lot of color work, I have to say I'm pretty pleased how it turned out. I did not have a tension issue. Well, thus far. I tried it on my head the other day. I'm not going to put it on my head again today. So my tension is pretty good. It's pretty even. I think that's just beginner's luck, and if I go into another color work stranded project going, I can do it, then I'll have problems because your first one always goes beautifully and the second one is always a disaster. Am I right? You know I'm right. So anyway, I got a lot of work on this hat. The inner hat shouldn't take as long as the outer hat did because there's not as much changing of the yarns or stranded color work or what have you. But before I do that, gotta knit in some ends. So that is what I have worked on as far as knitting goes since I saw you guys last. And tuck that away. I just have a couple of purchases that are relevant. Of course I buy stuff left, right, and upside down because I have no sense in my brains. But whatever. Etsy sometimes has my number, and I happen across things that are just perfect for me. If you've been here a long time, you know I love pansies, and you know I love purple, and there's nothing better than a purple pansy. And so I ran across a gal who had done a purple pansy felt wool needle book. So I had no choice, absolutely no choice whatsoever, but to order the purple pansy needle book and have it come home to live with me. So that is my new little treasure. I'll put where the Etsy store where I purchased this down in the description box below. Her card's way over there, and I don't want to get up and get it again and have another break in what we're doing. My mother is an excellent seamstress, and she made me a simple little thread catcher out of some pansy fabric that will match my big bag that I take to retreats or haul my stuff around in. And so there will be a snap. I have the quick set, no, what is the name? Anyway, I have the little snapper doos that go around. I have the kit, I have the snaps. I'm afraid to get out the awl and punch a hole in my fabric so I can insert the snap and do the squishy thing so that it'll, you know, set and work. But anyway, it's really simply done. We found a bright purple felt to put in there to help coordinate with everything. So I'm excited to take this off with me to the retreat and use it. And then the last thing that Mom has made for me is a retreat mat. It might be a little bit larger than what we need, but we were experimenting and trying to figure out what we thought would be the right size. Right now it is about the size of a fat quarter for quilting cottons. So it's about 18 inches top to bottom, and then about 22 inches left to right. Just as an experiment, it's what we had. We thought it would be easy. I had little bits of fabric here and there, so we put the garden toss in the middle with purple pansies on either side. And then this design had like pansies inside of a window, so we fussy cut some of these, and this is a big pocket, and then some other little pockets to tuck your stuff into. You just lay it down like a placemat. Fold the little pansy pockets over the edge so you can tuck your scissors in pins or, you know, what have you into it, and then have a nice placemat for all your stitchy stuff. So I'm excited to take this with me and see how it works, see if I love it, see if I don't love it, but they look so cool. So cool. So there's my retreat mat that Mom made for me. Really excited about that. I was trying to explain to her how if you had one thing and the one thing was really cool, then you needed like 20 of the same thing, because 20 is even way cooler than the one cool thing, right? I mean, it's logic. If one's good, 20's better. More is always better. So that's everything I've been up to, and prepping and getting ready for the Billings retreat, and just biding my time, enjoying the thises and the that's and the others. Work goes well. Like I say, I've just every day get up, do my thing, have a good time of it. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope things are not too hard for you. One step forward, guys. One step up. Kindness costs you nothing. Hugs and stitches, everybody. Bye.